one of the great things about bars is where fun stuff happens. You know?
I love it. Jane Austen by day.
Yeah.
Sex on the Beach by night.
Yeah, of course. Or like Hemingway most of the time. You know?
Hello and welcome to Best Sips Worldwide. I'm your drinking companion, Susan Schwartz, an American travel writer living in London. Thanks to my mother's love of martinis, the first words I spoke were shaken, not stirred, and I've been obsessed by the history of cocktails ever since. Through the years, I've been lucky enough to sip some of the best made by the best. Hear that sound? It's time to cozy up to the bar and let me introduce you to the movers and shakers of the world's most famous watering holes. Dave Miller, the general manager of Ray's Bar, one of the hippest bars in Austen, has the honor to be our 50th guest on Best Sips. I feel we have a connection as we both started life as literature majors, but found the world of cocktails calling to us. I had been wanting to try Ray's since it opened and was so excited that Dave was around to reveal why hospitality called his name.
So, my real start in hospitality was when I left high school. I kind of had a year to kill before I went to university, or the best part of a year. And I decided that I wanted to study something. So I went to this college in the town that I grew up, and I actually trained to be a chef for a year. But it wasn't really for me. It was like a bit warm and, you know, like a bit shouty, and it wasn't really my thing. Like, so I ended up, when I was like 17, taking a job in a football stadium, doing hospitality in a football stadium. So that was like my start, but that's so far away from like where I am now. It's unreal. Like, thinking back, it's crazy.
What town is this?
It's a little town called Dunfermline, which is in Fife, which is the east coast of Scotland. Yeah, and it was nice. But then, like, the bartending thing, I think like most people, or like a lot of people certainly in the industry, I started tending bar when I was doing my degree, because it was kind of like a fun, cool thing to do on a Friday and Saturday night, and you got to make some money, and you got to meet some people, and blah, blah, blah.
What were you studying?
English literature.
Ah.
So, yeah, and that was kind of like this big sports bar option of last resort kind of place in Glasgow that was like serving vodka and Red Bulls in plastic glasses to people of ill repute kind of thing. So yeah, that was kind of where it was like it was a really fun place to work, because there was a real bond with the staff, because we were all dealing with the same stuff every night, you know. There was like this real bond. So that's kind of where I got started. But
was it a rough crowd?
Yeah, it was like the door there was like, if you couldn't get in anywhere else on the street, then we were like almost the last option for you. So it was like not the best crowd, but the team was really good there, and it was like there was this real bond, which was really cool. And it was like, so I did that throughout university, and then.
Well, while you were there, were you able to make anything other than vodka and Red Bull?
No, well, it wasn't. I mean, I remember like learning to make a French martini or a Sex on the Beach or something, and like thinking you're it, you know, like that just seems so long ago now. Like, it wasn't like the scene in that kind of place, and in Glasgow at that point, it wasn't really like you could get a martini in a hotel bar.
But I guess you saw that people were really happy when they got what you gave them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It was really fun. Like, it was like...
So the customers were thrilled with your Sex on the Beach.
Yeah, of course. And it was like... Yeah, like this... Like, learning to make these really dodgy cocktails, like... But it was really fun, and it's like... It was a really fun place to work, because just mad stuff happened there, and it was like... One of the great things about bars is where fun stuff happens. You know?
I love it. So, Jane Austen by day.
Yeah.
Sex on the Beach by night.
Yeah, of course. Or like Hemingway most of the time. You know? So yeah, and then after I graduated, I kind of moved. That place got shut down for I don't know why, but so after that I kind of moved to working in a restaurant, and it was still kind of like, I was a nicer style of service and a bit more rewarding and all of that, and certainly very different from what I'd been doing before. But it was still kind of like, I was tending bar because it was something that I'd been doing before, you know.
But this was drinks in glasses instead of plastic.
In glasses.
Instead of plastic this
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
of course. Like, not more than one wine on the list,
right.
you know. So, but it was still kind of like there was more of a cocktail element there, and it was a bit more fun.
Did you start feeling like this is something that you could pursue there yet?
Not really, to be honest. It was like, I mean, I was kind of fresh out of university, and like, it was still in my head that you have to get a real job kind of thing. So the tending bar was like, it was something that I was doing. I've always really enjoyed it, and like, service is my thing. Like, I don't think I would ever be able to do a job where I was sitting in front of a computer all day, or where I didn't get to interact with people, you know. That's my thing. That's what makes me happy, you know?
Well, when you were studying English literature, what did you think?
I don't
was
know.
Going to be your future?
I had these kind of aspirations of like, I'll write a novel and it'll be fine, or like, I'll go and work in publishing, or you know, or something like that. So the hospitality bit was something that I really loved, but it was something that I was doing because I'd been doing it before, you know. So it was just a continuity thing. And then, so after a couple of years, I was kind of like a bit like, I'd just been doing the same thing, and I'd been in Glasgow for a while, and I was incredibly lucky that one of my friends, Tom, was working as a chef in 15, and they were going through a kind of refurb thing, so they were putting together a new bar team. So he put my name forward for it, and I kind of came down 2 days later and had an interview and worked as chef in one of the other places, and then got offered the job. And then it took me like 9 days or something to move. Like, just went back up, quit my job, and threw a ton of stuff in a bag, and then just went for it. And it's like, looking back, it's like, that was such a, like, that has informed my entire life since.
Had you ever been thinking of moving down to London?
No, not even close. Like, it was just, yeah.
You got a call and
pretty much.
It
Just kind of went for it, and it's like, I don't know, like, it's such a huge thing, and it's like, it's been so good to me, you know, but I don't know if I'd be able to do it again. Like, that whole thing where, like, coming down and on such short notice, and I didn't have a place to stay, and I didn't know anyone, and didn't know the city, and I didn't have very much money, and you know.
You don't have to worry about having to do it again.
Yeah,
you already
exactly.
did it once.
Yeah, of course. I don't think. Yeah.
So your friend was working at 15. Jamie Oliver's 15.
Yeah. So he was a chef there, and like, I just like, I feel so thankful that I was so lucky at that time, because it's like, going to that place and working with some great people. Like, the bar manager there, Jay, is incredible.
Well, before you talk about that, what was Jamie Oliver thinking of doing? What was he? How was he changing the restaurant?
So it was like 15. I don't know if you know the background of 15. So it's like this social enterprise thing where they take, essentially every year they take a group of kids that otherwise wouldn't have an opportunity to get into to chefing, and they train them in the restaurant. So it's like for kids that wouldn't be able to get into a college course or whatever. And it was kind of, it'd been open for a few years, and it was just a bit tired. So they were kind of rebranding it. The core belief never changed, but it kind of went from being this quite traditional Italian thing to this like modern British, quite forward-thinking menu that had a cocktail bar next to it. So before they did the refurb at 15, it was like, there was a bar, but it was like wine and beer and, you know, like the kind of standard stuff. So they changed it, and they kind of made the place look really sexy, and like hired this incredible chef to do this modern British thing, and then they put in a cocktail bar next to it. So they were kind of putting together a new team to do the cocktail thing there. And yeah, it was like I was so lucky. Like the people there were so great, and like being part of that social enterprise end of the industry is massively rewarding on like a daily basis, and seeing the change that these kids go through from kind of the start to the end of the year is like, it's mind blowing, you know. So that was kind of where I think that was the point that I kind of thought, this is for me. Like, this is like, why don't I just do this? Like, I remember there was this thing when I moved to London that I kind of thought that proximity was going to help me out, you know. So being in Glasgow and having these aspirations of working in publishing or working in advertising or whatever, and not really having the opportunities come my way, I think there was definitely part of me that thought, well, if I'm in London, then I'm closer to where these things happen, so like I'll have a better chance of doing that. And I remember there was one day that I was going into work to do a stock take, so I was like, it's a Monday morning and I was on the tube at 6:30 in the morning or something, and the tube was full of, you know, in Bonfire of the Vanities, how he changes his shoes to get on the subway. So he wears a suit, but he has like these beat up trainers that he wears on the subway because he's worried that he's going to get mugged. And I remember being on the tube and it was full of guys in suits with beat up trainers on, and they all looked depressed. Like, they just nobody looked like they were happy to be going where they're going at that time. And it kind of stuck with me, and I was kind of like I like doing, like,
you were the only happy one.
Yeah, it's like that's not what success looks like, you know? Like getting up in the morning and putting a suit on and being a bit depressed. Like, that's like, why don't I just do this? Because this is so much more fun. And like that definitely, that time at 15, meeting these great people and having the opportunity to work with, like, alongside really great chefs, and like I developed so much there in terms of my skill and my palate and what I'm able to do and the way that I think about booze and all of that. Like, that was definitely where it clicked, and
you let go, I guess, of this idea of what you had to do.
Yeah, of course.
As opposed to what you were doing.
And it was like, yeah, of course. And it's like, you know, like, it's crazy that it took me so long to kind of realise that, because it's like, this is I think this has always been the thing that I should be doing, you know. Like, it seems so obvious now. Like,
did you find a difference in how you worked after that day?
Yeah, I think so. It's like when you embrace it, and when it's like, yeah, it's like,
I'm sure you must have let go of so much.
Yeah, it's like you're not carrying this thing,
right?
You know?
Oh my God, I've got to do this. I have to do this.
Yeah, of course.
Now I'm doing this.
And it's like, it seems crazy to me that I ever thought anything different, you know, because it's like, this is like, service is the most rewarding thing that you can do, I think. Like, certainly for me, and it suits my personality down to the ground, I think. So yeah, like, that was kind of the point. That.
And did you find that you now were making, obviously you were making more than just Sex on the Beach? How quickly do you feel that you got into the groove cocktail wise in London here?
Pretty fast. I mean, I had like, there was some speed bumps, definitely. Like, I remember, like, the difference from doing the restaurant thing in Glasgow to working behind a cocktail bar in kind of East London is vast. Like, it's huge. Like, and being exposed to this, like, but having there was a great support network there, and the bar manager was a lot to thank him for. And like, going into this thing where you're making all your own ingredients, and like, you have like this really fantastic back bar to work with, and you're encouraged to taste things, and you get to go on trips to distilleries and vineyards and all of that. Like, it took me a while. It takes a little while, but because each step is so rewarding, and like, every time that you nail something, it's like you get like a little bump from that, and it's like, when that's happening on kind of like, that's happening every day, it just like, you're just being carried forward on this like wave of like just being in love with the job, and it's like, it doesn't seem like work anymore, you know. But I still, like, I remember like the first cocktail that I pitched to try and get on the menu, just got shut down. It was like I can't remember what was in it.
Darn.
It was like some sour that had like Chambord and amaretto in it or something. Like there's no base spirit. Like there was no strong element. And the bar manager tasted it and it's just like,
you need more.
Like, maybe take this away again, you know. But yeah, I mean, like I remember like the first drink that I got on the menu there was like this. It was like a cold whiskey punch, and it had like rye that I infused with chamomile tea in it, and it was like having that, watching people order a drink that you've made and like enjoy it and kind of big you up for it is like that's huge, and that was never something that I'd done before. And now that's like what?
Now it happens all the time.
Yeah, that's like, well, not like yeah, that was all the time, but like yeah, that's kind of part of my life now, and it's like it's hugely.
But because you loved it so much, was it hard to go on to the next place?
I think it was tough to leave 15 because it's like the family there is incredible, and like I definitely wouldn't have, like the first period for me in London where you try to figure everything out without knowing a lot of people and blah blah blah, that would have taken a much bigger toll on me if it wasn't for the people that were at 15. And it was like they were just incredible, so it was hard to leave because the people that I got to know there, and it was home. Like that was London to me, you know, was where I was living, and 15 and a bit in between, you know. But I just kind of decided that I'd been in restaurants for a while, and I kind of wanted to pursue the more drinks focused side of it. So I ended up finding a job in a gin bar in Bermondsey. So it was a little independent gin bar in the basement of an Italian restaurant called 214 Bermondsey, and kind of like they made their own tonic water, and there was like 100 gins on the back bar and all of that. And like me and my friend Jack, who I still work with, I took him here when I came, we had kind of total control over what went on the cocktail menu and like what gins we stocked, and it was very different, but it was like a real step for me going into that more management side of it and having complete control over what your product is and what you're serving people. Were you really into gin before that you knew so many gins? I thought I knew about gin before. I thought I had a good knowledge about gin before I moved to 214, but yeah, it's a drop in the ocean. Like it's like there's so much, it's nuts. But being like that environment where you're constantly like meeting people from brands and like being able to like try a new gin and tonic every day is pretty nice. Like that's like it's a pretty good perk. So yeah, I kind of like was into gin. Like gin obviously is normally like a bartender's kind of favourite spirit because it's like it's a huge category, but the spectrum of flavour is massive as well. Like it's such a versatile spirit to use, so it's really fun to be able to base a cocktail menu around having 100 and whatever gins, you know. Mm-hmm. And it led to this really rewarding kind of intimate service because when people come into a bar that's got 100 bottles, they're all the same in the same category, they need help. Of course they need help. So it's like, because just about every guest that you had, you would need to spend 5 or 10 minutes going through, like, try to find out like what kind of thing they were going to enjoy and kind of guide them through it. They come, I guess, wanting to be educated. Yeah, of course, that's it. And it's like having that environment where everybody wants to sit at the bar top so they can talk to the bartender. It's like, that's so cool. Like going from being in a restaurant where you do a bit of that but you're making tickets a lot, to this thing where everybody wants to be right up social, at the bar. It's like, it's so cool. And especially when you get people coming back who bring their friends because this guy will find the right gin for you, kind of thing, is amazing. Like, that's hugely. Like,
So let's talk about how you transitioned here.
So after I've been 214 for about 18 months, something like that, and just again decided it's time for change.
Were you like, I need a different alcohol now?
No, not really.
So much gin.
Wasn't quite ginned out. Or maybe I was. I don't know. I've never thought of that before.
You're like, give me something brown.
Yeah,
I need
dark. Yeah, just kind of decided it was time for a change. So looked around, had a couple of different things that I looked at. I was kind of aware of what Ray's used to be. So Ray's used to be a techno club called Dance Tunnel that was kind of legendary, but that had closed down shortly before. So when I joined the team, Ray's was still being built. So I kind of took a bit of a chance on it, but from meeting the bosses and all that and owners, everyone was really cool, and the way that it was pitched was it's a Dalston basement that's not like other Dalston basements. Like, there's no brown leather and there's no exposed brickwork, and like it's neon and disco and vinyl DJs and like a place to have fun, you know.
So a little bit of the dance club.
Yeah, a little bit. There's
Leftover.
there's certainly nods of the head. But yeah, so it just seemed like my kind of thing, like being able to listen to DJs every night and make great drinks and be in a kind of cool part of London, and you know, that was something that was really interesting to me, and it was definitely another step in my progression. So yeah, it was an easy decision to make.
And what kind of cocktails are in the menu?
So my bag is kind of, I'm very classically kind of influenced. I'm not into overly techy things. There's no redistillation or any of that stuff. It's just liquid mixed together, served in a glass kind of thing. Like, so our ethos has always been that when you serve someone a drink, they should just be able to enjoy it. You shouldn't have to be talked through it. Like, if you want to go bar geek, then we can have a bar geek conversation, but it's just making nice drinks that don't take themselves too seriously. So it's like decent drinks that are made, like, it's the best way to describe it. Good drinks that are made as simply as we can make them, but that have stupid names and come in, you know, like, it's like.
So what's a stupid name?
We've got one in the menu called Last Mango in Paris. I like that one.
This is where you're using your creativity.
Yeah,
your English degree,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Puns. Like,
right.
I've got an English degree and I use it to make pun names for drinks. Yeah, but yeah. So just kind of light and bright. Like, it's definitely a place. But like, bars are places to have fun, you know. And it's like, drinking is fun. Don't need to take it too seriously. So that's what we try and do here. It's just like, there's some guy playing disco in the corner, and like, you get stupid drinks out of tiki mugs and things like that, but like, it's a place to have fun. Like,
well, since you mentioned the author, do you think this is someplace Hemingway would hang out?
Hopefully. I would like to think so. We make a pretty good daiquiri, so I guess, yeah, hopefully. I've never really thought about that before. I actually went to the bar in Havana where he used to drink, across the road from the National Hotel, and they have a statue of him, so he's always at the bar there. So I get one of them installed. That'd be fun. But.
Well, I would love to try your daiquiri.
Yeah,
that you'd serve
cool.
Hemingway. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool.
Sweet.
Thanks so much to Dave for being on our show. I truly believe Hemingway would have given up the daiquiri for our cocktail of the week, Dave's Motor City Rum Ensemble. Detroit should really adopt this as its official cocktail. Needless to say, you begin with rum, both Havana 3 and 7. Start by adding 35 ml of Havana 3 to a shaker. Then add in 15 ml of Havana 7. Follow that with 15 ml of dry vermouth, 10 ml of date syrup, 7.5 ml of Cynar, And then finally 25 mLs of lime juice. Shake, 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 and then double strain into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. Then top it all off with a cherry. For more of where to drink while in London, check out my blog, bestbitsworldwide.com. I hope you've loved every bit of the first 50 episodes of Best Sips podcast. We're taking a bit of a break for the summer, so you can catch up on all the last 49 episodes you may have missed. When we return on September 5th, we'll have a few surprises for you, and episodes with Benedictine, East London Liquor Company, the Gin Foundry, and many, many more. Until next time, bottoms up. For more information and links to everything you've heard about, plus a bit more, please visit bestbitsworldwide.com. Thanks for listening to Best Sips Worldwide, a spin-off of Best Bits Worldwide. Always remember the wise words of Oscar Wilde, all things in moderation, including moderation, and never drink and drive. Okay, I said that last part. Theme music is by Steven Shapiro and used with permission. You'll find me at the bar